I'm Wes Bullington. I'm the band director here. This group that's on the stage right now is our Blue Jazz Ensemble, and the first tune we're going to play for you is a tune called Four. Okay, we have one soloist on that, and that was Mr. Simone Mezzi in the back. And I'm going to ask my cohort to come up here, because she's doing the next two, Miss Emma Dilly, so give her a hand. And I'll let her introduce the next tunes.
Hello. Next, we'll be playing Fancy Pants with one solo by Monsieur Cole Watson. Please enjoy. I'm back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next is I Found a New Baby with 3 soloists, including Kyle on tenor sax, Cole on trumpet, and Dylan starts it off on drum set. Yay. After sunset, Ian. Last one with me is Road Song. Solos on this include Dalton Bailey on guitar and Kyle on tenor.
Hello. I like talk too much. Some of you know that. Anyway, the next tune we're going to do for you, one of the things that we try to get with this group, and again, this group up here, they meet 2 days after school. They're mostly up here. Some of these students never played in a jazz band before, okay? So we have a lot of freshmen up here. We have some sophomores. We have some students that learn other instruments that fill the instrumentation in for us. One of the things with jazz is improvisation. So you've heard some solos happen so far. Sometimes in this music, it'll be written out for them, but sometimes it won't be. It's giving chords and teaching them how to improvise. This tune that we're getting ready to do, every single student that you hear play is going to be improvising there, and that was something we worked on. And giving them a chance to start exploring that a little bit. Some of them, when we first started doing that, was very hard for them to do that. So, making them try to come out of their shell and play. So this tune I've been calling our jam tune because it's very simple. It's some of you musicians out there, it's a basic blues to solo on. So we've got a lot of people who are going to be soloing here. This is called Blues in Haas Flat. It's actually a Count Basie tune. And you'll hear from Heather Atkins here on alto sax. You hear from Brody Wheeler on trombone. Ian Brumfield on saxophone. I got it that time. Then Miles Martin on bari sax. And then Dalton Bailey on guitar. So, hope you enjoy this. This is Blues in Haas Flat. the things I love seeing about that as learning improvisation. It's kind of hard to kind of teach that sometimes, and to see some of them just kind of learn on their own and grow, and they kind of get their own identity as a soloist. So it took a little time for some of us to kind of get used to that, but I was glad to see some freshmen doing it too, which was cool. So I was proud of them. Yeah, give them a round of applause. The next tune we're going to do for you is another standard. This band, we play a lot of standards, some original stuff. So some of you may know this. It's called Stolen Moments. And we've heard this tune a lot during our jazz band time this year. You have two soloists on this. You're going to hear again Simone Mezzi in the back on trumpet, and then you're going to hear Ian Brumfield on alto sax. So this is Stolen Moments. Okay, we have one more left with this group, and then give us a few minutes because we have to set up on stage for our combo group, and we'll talk a little bit about that when we get to there. We have 4 soloists in this. This is called Running of the Bulls, kind of a Latin kind of chart. Some of you may think, have you ever heard of Maynard Ferguson? If you've ever heard of that musician, jazz musician, kind of somewhat loosely based off of some of his music. But you'll have 4 soloists in this. Simone Mezzi on trumpet again. And then you'll have Heather Atkins on alto sax. And then Gavin Sparks on trombone. And then Mr. Dylan Booten in the back on drum set. So this is Running of the Bulls. Okay, give us just a few minutes. We got to move a couple of things around, and we're going to bring our combo group up here, and we'll get to that. So. Okay, I think we're about ready to go. I'm going to talk a little bit about this group, and then I'm going to have Hunter Blankenship talk to you too. This group that you're getting ready to listen to is completely the children's brainchild. Okay, they came to me a little bit after Christmas, and well, let me back up and tell you what basically a combo group. You're going to hear pretty much everything they're going to be doing is improvisation, except you hear the main kind of melodies. So they came to me and they said, well, we'd like to do a combo group, and I said, sure. And so we kind of organized it, and so I reached out to Mr. Blankenship here, and he offered to come in and help, and I'll kind of have him talk a little bit about it because he's worked with them, and it's very much been a major beneficial thing for me. It's taught them really the mechanics of music, improvisation, all this stuff. And not a lot of high schools have this opportunity to get something like this going. And I was so proud of them for kind of getting together and doing it. And it was like one extra day a week, about an hour or so, and they worked up a couple of tunes for you. So I'm going to let him kind of explain a little bit about each of the tunes, and we'll kind of go from there. So, hello?
All right, so first of all, I want to thank Mr. Bullington for asking me to come and direct this group and kind of get this whole thing started, because I really think that a combo type of group is extremely important of an experience for everybody in the band program to go through, because it's a very different experience from the big bands that you're going to hear between the blue group and the silver group. So first of all, it's just very practical. You know, to me, this is more real world jazz, because if you ever have to play a gig, most likely you're probably not going to have 17 of your closest friends that you can just call right on the whim and go play in an Italian restaurant gig, right? So to me, this is very practical. Also, it's just very different of an experience as well. As opposed to a lot of the big band music, that is a lot of like pre-composed stuff with some improvisation in it. This up here that you're about to hear is 95% improvisation. So if you were to look at their music, what's on their music stands right now, it's not much, right? They have the melody of the tune, which is just the head, right? And then you have the chord changes of it along with that. So for most of the time, you're going to hear the melody in the beginning. You're going to hear the melody in the end. Other than that, they're just soloing off of those chord changes. They have basically zero other guidelines other than those chord changes, which is a very, very difficult thing to learn. Kind of like how Mr. Bullington was just talking about with the blue group. It takes a lot of time to develop your own voice when improvising. A lot of these guys up here, this is like their first big improvisational experience. So they've done a fantastic job. And also in real world fashion, right, very practical experience, we have very limited rehearsal time. We maybe had, 5 to 6 collective rehearsals to try to throw this together, and a lot of these guys have come a super, super long way in a very short amount of time. This is very intimidating music to try to play because you're so exposed, you're not given too much direction. And kind of along that vein, I'm going to let them direct themselves because y'all don't need me. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is called St. Thomas. The second one we're going to do is Sunny Move for 2, both by Sonny Rollins. Hope y'all enjoy the combo group.
one of the things that you love to see is when the kids take ownership and they start doing it, and that's what it's all about. So I'm glad that they got a chance to do this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give us a minute. We're going to switch to the last band here, and we'll get going. Okay? Here we go. Let's switch out. Silver group, come on up. Do you like that chart? That's a, they They've been playing for a while. There's a lot of notes in that chart. That was called Step Right Up. That's actually an original chart. It's a Count Basie tune, Oliver Nelson. We had quite a few soloists on that. In the beginning, you heard Jaden Daugherty on piano, Ian Brumfield on alto sax. You had Jaden Atkins back on trumpet, and Nate Canterbury on tenor sax. The next one we're going to do for you has got a couple of soloists on it. It's a John Coltrane tune. Any of you fans of John Coltrane out there? Big tenor saxophonist in the jazz world. You're going to hear Ian Brumfield on alto sax, Nate Canterbury on tenor sax, and on guitar, again, Dalton Bailey. So this is Naima. Okay, one thing before we go to the next one, I want to recognize with both bands, we had a ratings, we're busy in the spring, early winter. We went to a ratings festival back in March at Huntington High. It's our state regional festival. Both bands played at it, and both bands got a superior rating at the festival. So give them a round of applause for that. It's good I say this a lot. It's good to see the program getting back on the tracks, all right, after COVID, because we went through a lot a couple years ago, and it's glad to see it going. The next tune we're going to do for you is going to have two solos. It's going to feature one more than the other, okay? But you have Lake Nobare on flute, and you'll have Dylan Booten on the back on drums. And this is another I love Count Basie stuff, sorry. But anyway, this is called Cute. Okay, the next one we're going to feature, she sang back at, we had OU's Jazz Ensemble came a couple months ago, and we did a short little concert, and she went with us. We went up to OU for a jazz festival and played, and it was great this year to have a vocalist And this next tune is a Michael Bublé tune, if any of you fans out there. And this is called Sway, and it features Miss Candace Chapman on vocals.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like the lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me, stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I go weak. I can hear the sound of violence long before it begins. Make me feel as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I go weak. I go weak. I can hear the sound of violence long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me.
Okay, the next tune we're going to do for you is Miles Davis tune. It features another one of our soloists up here, and it'll be Miss Jaden Atkins on trumpet. This is called Bye Bye Blackbird. Okay, the next tune we're going to do for you has a couple of soloists on it. It has Lakin Obare on flute, Nate Canterbury on tenor sax, Kyle Roboleski on Barry sax, and then Dylan Booten on drum set. And this is Blue Bossa. Okay, this next tune is another Miles Davis tune called Joshua, and we have a few soloists on this, Nate Canterbury on tenor sax and Hunter Nelson on trumpet. So this is called Joshua. Okay, I asked the kids this. Some of you probably out here will know this name. How many heard of Chuck Mangione? Some of you heard that name. Okay. This next tune, I wanted them to play a Chuck Mangione piece and found this one in our library, and it's a fun one called Children of Sanchez. Some of you recognize it. We got a couple of soloists on this. Simone Mezzi in the back. It'll be Logan Obare, Kyle Roboleski. I got Ryan Folks on tuba, and you're going to hear Jaden Atkins in the back. So this is Children of Sanchez. Okay, before we play our last tune, and I know this was a long concert, but there's a lot of things I want to feature with these guys. Both bands. Give a hand for the Blue Group. They did a great job. That's a lot to do 2 days after school. These guys, I just kept handing them charts. They're just playing stuff, and they're soaking up. They're loving jazz. Give a hand for the Combo Group. That was awesome. That's going. So we have a lot to be proud of here at Spring Valley. We have a very thriving jazz program, and it's good to have. So the last tune we're going to do for you is, again, another Count Basie tune. And it's written by Benny Carter. It's actually a couple of the songs you heard them play tonight, they're playing the original charts, like what the Basie band would have played years ago. Step Right Up was an original chart. A couple other ones that we had. This is fun swing chart, kind of shuffle. It's called Vine Street Rumble, and it's got a couple of soloists on it. You got Jaden Daughtery on piano, and then you'll have Nate Canterbury on tenor sax. So I appreciate you guys coming out. Come out Thursday night. Gonna have a great concert, bands concert. We got a lot of stuff going on with that, and I think it's great that our kids are doing well. So this is Vine Street Rumble. Okay, thank you guys.